I don't know what's going to come out. Today's been a day. So, it's so funny that this card just came out because the last reading that I just did was about taking it easy. It's almost like my team is saying, let's pick up from where we left off. Because this ease and grace card came out in the reverse. There is something that, because you're so used to so much energy slamming you. Like, I feel like you've been caught off guard with things popping through your physical 3D. And it's like I'm getting, and I've been getting, like, the Jack in the Box. And like you don't know when the jacks can come out, but you just know it's coming. And you're like, and your team might warn you. They might be like 555, 555, 911, 911, 444, 444. And you're like, in this like impending doom of like, when is it going to jump out? And you might have just experienced, sorry, I'm lagging, a series of events of Jack in the Box surprises that have continued to transpire over however long, and it's felt like a never-ending, okay, what's coming next, right? I'm really getting that these surprises, these unexpected jump scare almost surprises that have been happening to you over the course of however long, were really to kind of shock your nervous system back into a better place. It would seem contradictory. You would think that that would bring about more of a feeling of like always sitting on pins and needles, impending doom, when's the next freaking thing? But it's actually building an immune to life just happening, change being the only thing that is consistent. And so it's like your team knew you needed to learn how to regulate this nervous system of yours, even though you're maybe experiencing a reality that is very peaceful and whatnot, but you might have experienced a time in your life where your flight or fight was constantly being triggered. And now that you've been healing from those wounds that are rooted within where that flight or fight, where you constantly felt like that, things, even little things today, you get like this again. And especially then whenever your team starts bringing through or letting you know things are going to start popping through that are going to be like dun, 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 and you don't know when it's going to jump out and surprise you, when you get like a freaking surprise call or a text message or you hear news and it just like totally rocks you and you're like, oh my gosh, this is not what I want to feel right now, right? So it's this recalibration that has been happening to kind of get you back into, hey, your nervous system's just going to have to start to regulate to the fact that change is always consistent, even major changes, even big changes. Life is never going to stop happening, but you're learning how to almost like regulate your nervous system and stay in this place where things outside of you, you're no longer reacting to them, you're responding to them. I know if you have been experiencing surprise Jack in the Box surprises in your life, just like every couple of days, it's another freaking jump scare. You're recognizing that, yes, you're like waiting for the next one because you can feel it coming and your team lets you know. But whenever it comes, the way that you respond, you're calm, cool, collected. So yes, this easy does it card is coming in the reverse, but it's because you're still like, when's the next right thing? But that's where they're working on you. They're really heavily working on this with you, is being able to go with the flow no matter what surprises, potential traumas, right? Or big things are happening. That kind of jump scare you in life, that you're able to respond to it in a way that isn't like, oh my gosh, I'm now my fight is triggered and blah blah blah, right? I feel like this has a purpose. We have memories of love. So I feel like this has a purpose because there's something here that you would go back in your mind and pick up, like replay something from the past in your life. And your team is trying to get you to not pick up the traumatic ones or the terrible ones or the heart-wrenching ones. You did enough of that already in Shadow Work Land. They're wanting you to pick up, if you're going to go back in the past, you little time traveler, they're wanting you to go back into the memories of the love so that you're not constantly bringing things up from the past that are going to wreck your nervous system, and that's not even happening in your life today, right? So it's all got a purpose, and I feel like this is also like the Six of Cups, so I feel like your inner child is helping you with this, because your inner child wants to come out not just on when days are good and weeks are peaceful and there's no surprise shock factors happening in life. There's not a bunch of 555, 911 on the clock, right? It's this ability to let your inner child out even while life is happening. Honesty and communication. There is some sort of potential. So this could be you being honest with yourself, with where you're currently at, like really vulnerable and really raw and really open with where you're at right now. And there could be this beautiful connection and honesty and communication that you're experiencing, maybe just between you and your guides, you and your higher self, you maybe a family member or a friend or a soul tribe, or you could be actually clearing away space to make room for something or someone to be able to be to come forward in a way to communicate with you, or maybe you haven't had a certain communication or been able to communicate with somebody because you're constantly like, I don't want to even expand in that conversation because I don't like my nervous system. If a harsh, a not so harsh, a very difficult conversation comes up, right? You're just trying to regulate that beautiful nervous system, right? So this could be clearing away space for honesty and communication to be happening. So you've been doing the resting, you've been doing the rejuvenating, and you do feel this feeling of being renewed, right? Your rest and rejuvenation time is over, and you're like wanting to rise above all the energy that you've been moving forward from. But once again, it's about doing it with ease. It's about doing it with grace, right? You're being asked and required by your team to have a gentle approach to life, to your job, to work, to your conversations, to your thoughts. Is this bringing back the flow? Is this allowing you to tap into the flow of life? Is it giving, oh, I like to be here? Is it graceful? Because life is already surprising and chaotic and traumatic in itself. The least you can do is not keep picking up things mentally, emotionally, physically, or your conversation that is going to disrupt this ease and this grace that you're learning to do with like your physical 3D, right? Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. I love you.